creativity into currency and business models for creatives. Now we know that as creatives, people tend to see creatives as unserious people, and that's not true. Is that true? Are we unserious? Are you an unserious person?
No.
Absolutely not. However, I think the reason why there is that misconception is because we tend to do things out of the box. And when people see us doing things out of the box, they assume we do not have strategies, we do not have like a proper work plan, a proper workflow, and that is not true. So today we're here to actually discuss that in detail and help us be better as creatives, how to monetize our creativity, how to turn our talent into currency, something that actually works for us financially. And I have with me Waka Waka Dr. Taiwa Deyemi, the beautiful TMT by Laika, and Dapo Ayo Adeosi. Welcome and thank you for joining me today on the panel. Woo! You guys are intimidating me. Okay, so I'm just going to start with something quite simple, something quite general. So I want to talk about the value of creativity in business. And I'm going to start with you, Taiwo. And for those who don't know Taiwo, how many of us know the beautiful and talented actress Nzegwetin? How many of us know her? How many of us know the Guinness World Record holder, Tunde Okoya? So this man here is the one who pushes them and propels them to be better. He's their talent manager. The brains, I mean, they are brains, so don't get me wrong, but the brains behind those beautiful talents. So I think he deserves a round of applause. You know, it's easy to do. All right, so Tyler, how would you define the value of creativity in your industry?
Well, why did you start with me now? So I think that it's a very interesting question. Good evening, everybody. I personally have morphed from being a creative person to a businessman, right? And I think it was initially a challenging pivot for me because you know when you spent all your life being a creative person and you're thrown in situations where the creative people now need you to help them figure out their business out, right? So I think that position actually makes me understand this a bit differently, and I think that creative people are very special kind of people, and they're, for lack of a better word, they're out of the world. So if we were alive when the Roman Empire and the Persian Empire existed, maybe creative people would have been gods, right? But what that means is that there is also like a big amount of excess that comes from that creativity. So which means that if you see a genius, if you see somebody who is really smart or really amazing at what they create, most of them always have an imbalance, right? It's either, they have like an uncontrollable habit, or they have ADHD, or they have there's always something that creative people always battle with, right? That's why they need the help. That's why they need somebody else to help them actually recognize the value of what they carry. So I will never even tell creative people to believe in their own value, because it's almost an impossible task. In my experience working with like highly creative and talented people, you realize that some of your favorite people in the world are actually very, very insecure. They actually don't believe that they are that talented. They actually don't believe that they can sell out a hall. They don't believe. So there was a time I was doing some work for a legendary musician in this country, and there was supposed to be a Christmas event, and maybe the hall was this big. And we're like, oh sure, this is the ticket price, you're going to sell it out, it's you now. And there was a big pushback from this person who the world loves, and doubting that I could actually sell out a 200-seater. So it made me realize that imposter syndrome is not a respecter of anybody, right? So creative people definitely need reminders from everybody around them, from their managers, from their friends, from their family, to show them that, okay, they are actually really valuable, and pay them their worth, give them words of affirmation, and let them know that without them, the world doesn't go around.
Did you guys catch that? Without you, without the creatives, the world doesn't actually go around. Did you catch that?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so now this is for you, TMT. So we're going to talk about converting your passion into profit. And so we know that many creatives actually struggle to turn their passion into a profitable business or a profitable venture. We also know that not all passions should be turned into a profitable venture, right? But what would you advise? What advice would you give to someone who wants to actually monetize their talent without losing their authentic voice? Their authentic voice, their authenticity.
Hi everyone. Good evening. Okay, so
Media, can we have some volume on the podium, please?
I'm going to respond to this question as a makeup artist.
Yes.
Hi everyone. Okay.
Hi.
So I'm going to respond to that question as a makeup artist.
Okay. Many creatives struggle to turn their passion or their talent into a profitable business. How would you advise? What advice would you give to someone who wants to monetize their talent without losing their authentic voice?
Okay, so advice to give to a makeup artist, an upcoming makeup artist, or somebody that is just starting a business or his business as a makeup artist. I'm going to use myself as an example. As Pastor Laju said, that be able to tell your own story. So I'm going to use my own story as an example. So we learn from it as somebody that is coming up as a makeup artist. Me myself, when I started, I tried to stay true to my niche. You get it? So I have a particular niche and I stay true and I stay focused. I don't really follow the trend. So what I do with the trend is that I pick what I want and I add it to my niche. So, for example, there was a particular time that this eyebrow was trendy, like a snaky scorpio brow. So many people jumped at it. So I don't jump at new trends like that. I just pick whatever makes sense there. Because niche is very clean, very subtle, glam. And that's what I've been doing from beginning even up to now, and it's really working for me. So new trends keeps coming out. I won't just drop what I have and jump on the new trend. Do you understand? So to stay
To be your authentic self.
to be your authentic self, stay to what you know. Stay to keep preaching, like it's like this is what I do, this is the way I do my thing. Do you understand? This is me. With time, people will love what you're doing. They will be like, there are some people that like you force yourself on the audience that this is what I do and do it very well. Consistency. Do you understand? Be yourself. Don't jump from okay, this is how you are doing it now. I'm jumping. I don't know if you guys are getting me. I'm jumping to the next thing. No. Keep doing what you are doing. Just pick one or two things from the new thing. Add it to what you are doing. So that is you being yourself. You are not changing that, oh my god, this way, no, I want to look like I am. Do you understand? Okay, this way I can make it straight. I was wearing straight wig. Do you understand? This is me. I like long wig, whether wavy or straight. So this is me being myself. I'm not saying, oh, I look good with the short hair. Do you get my point? So as a makeup artist that is just starting this or our business, stay true to yourself. Pick a niche and stay true to that. New trend comes out, pick whatever you love there that is subtle, that is natural, add it to it. Don't just say, oh no, I do Amanda's makeup, I've been doing Amanda's makeup for years, I don't change her face. Do you understand? If I'm not staying true to what, Amanda just tried me once, twice, and that was it. Do you understand? So, even when I'm like, I told Amanda what I said, Amanda, you know, like, if I keep changing hand or my makeup game has changed, you would have moved to the next person. So even she should be like, thank you for helping us. You are not making us look like the way we used to do makeup 5-10 years ago. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So I think, am I able to answer?
Yes, you did.
Okay.
I think the summary of what TMT just said is stay true to yourself. It's okay to improve and develop yourself, but do not try to imitate other people because at the end of the day, your journey is your journey. and your talent is your talent. Right. All right. So this one is for Waka Waka Doctor. I like that name. Why Waka Waka Doctor? Delicious, by the way.
Well, Waka Waka Doctor, it's simple, yeah? Waka Waka is an informal term that, describes someone who is always on the move, always traveling, never sitting down at one place. And that's what you heard when I was introduced. I've been to 78 countries. Hope to see everything. I don't know how long that will take. And doctor is obvious reasons. I'm a medical doctor. I've been a doctor since 2011. I've practiced medicine in 5 different countries. But social media part of me, people don't see that side. A lot of people only see the guy who dances, and that's why social media is social media. You never want to see your real self. Anyway, I don't like to put my real self out there. So that's why it's Waka Waka Doctor. So Waka Waka Doctor.
Okay, but your actual question now. So what are some revenue streams or monetization models that you recommend for creatives to explore beyond the traditional method?
Well, I mean, there are several ways, and your question is very timely because I have only suddenly realized over a short period of time that maybe it's time to actually start monetizing what I do on social media. I've been Waka Waka Doctor for 4+ years. It's going to be 5 years, December 19. And everything I've done, has been largely free. And you find that there are various methods and various ways for which you can monetize what you do on social media. Don't let all these people, fool you. They make money, they make loads and loads of money from social media, and I'm just beginning to realize. And the various, streams can use or methodology make money and from what this not just too loud, from working with brands to products. Okay, you can create products for yourselves, write books, audio tapes, whatever it is, sell art. All right. Our spoken guy was talking about Jackman. I was just laughing. I said, this guy is going against everything I talk about. But that's a debate. That's a debate for another time. But there are several things you can be a speaker. You can, if you speak, you can speak. There are various models you can employ, and that would be a great source of income for you.
All right, thank you so much. I hope you guys caught everything he said. I mean, we're talking about money here, so no be one road they lead inside markets. I'm sorry, I'm such a posh girl. I don't do all of that. All right, so Jaguar, this question is for you. You are more in the music space and you've worked with big artists, major artists like Ashake and Rema and all of that. So you've definitely seen their highs and lows. And even before then, you've worked with major people and you've seen the ugly part that the world really does not see, right? So, but then again, I want to talk about, because I think earlier we talked about IP and copywriting and stuff. So I want to talk about how brands and partnerships kind of like help these artists. Because sometimes you go into some kind of collaborations or some kind of partnerships and you realize that this doesn't align with my values, but then again, the money is maybe good, the visibility might be really good, and so how can they balance this so that, like I asked the MCs, so they don't lose themselves in the process? Because we find that a lot of times we have a perception of someone and then suddenly they blow and it's like a completely different person. What happened along the way?
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for that question. So in terms of branding, I mean, what you generally will hear from people like me is that your brand should reflect who you are, or whoever you work with should reflect who you are, especially when you think about it from a music point of view. And I'm dealing with artists and producers and songwriters and people like that, most especially artists because they're the ones that are front facing. But my first advice to them is always do whatever is authentic to you or whatever feels authentic to you. It's kind of in line with what you were saying. Do what is authentic to you, because then it just comes easy. You don't have to you really don't have to work at it as much. You do have to work at it, don't get me wrong, like everything requires work. But like when you're doing something that's authentic to you, then it's easier. So I'll use myself as an example, not that I have brand deals or anything. I'm out at events or whatever work, I'm mostly in cargo pants, right? All different types, all different fields and materials. So it's going to be hard because I want to be in cargo pants because it's a jean company talking to me, right? Or a jeans clothing company. Now bringing that back to artists, if you as an artist are say you're a gospel act and a condom company reaches out to you, you're not going to say because they have money we're going to do it. It's just, you gotta, and it's not always as like black and white as like, oh, I sing about Jesus and you brought condoms to me, so we're not doing it. Sometimes it's like it's on the line, and then some other times it's things that you've probably never even considered before. So I think the first thing you have to consider is your authenticity. Does it come naturally to you? Because that's what's going to sustain that thing long term, right? You look at, not to mention anyone's name, but you look at even like phone companies and the musicians that they sort of tap to be the ambassadors. You find somebody who's one of his claims or their claims to popularity in these industries, they are the richest musician, right? They're the most wealthy musician out of the country. But then they are advertising in Phoenix. It's a bit of a mismatch. It's a great thing, not to call him out. It's a great thing, it's money, but it's a bit of a mismatch. Now we see the same person with Mattel. Now we're talking. Infinix didn't really last long, did it? Mattel is still growing. So it's like, you also, as much as there's a lot of money, it could be a lot of money in the short term, which you might need. And to be honest, we sit up here and we say, don't do. Sometimes if you put those things in front of me, I put up my hands to my artist and I say, you know what, take the money on. We need it, take it. We'll figure it out. And sometimes you have to do that because, you know, the reality of the situation you're in kind of hits. Somebody mentioned T-Pain, everybody knows we're in the T-Pain economy now. So like, if you're putting a couple $1,000s in front of my artist that's not making that money, I'm considering it twice. But then we have to, one of the things that we then look at is, okay, cool, it's a lot of money. Is there any way we can sort of rework this to kind of fit the brand, to fit in any way, shape or form? Is there any way we can do this? And sometimes you have brand, people who you can talk to and say, let's sort of repackage this way so that it works perfectly. Because the other thing I usually tell artists is, and creatives in general that are front facing, is that if you're not doing something that's authentic to you, the audience will find you out eventually. And that's going to be a problem. And that's not to say you can't like change and you can't evolve and stuff, but as much as you can stick to your authenticity, I think in the long term it's much better for you financially. But then, it really depends on the situation.
Thank you so much. That was quite insightful. So Tyrone, back to you. And this time I want us to talk about managing the risk of scaling as a talent, right? So talent management often requires a balance between artist development and business growth. Am I correct? All right. So this time I actually want you to bring it home, personalize it. So I want you to talk about a time that you had to make a difficult business decision that impacted your artist or like your talent career, not necessarily an artist, and how you actually handled it.
Thank you for that question, and it's similar to how brilliantly you answered that question, because I'm in that situation every time. Where should I take the money for this person, or is it off-brand? And to be honest, the circumstances differ, so I can't like generalize like you rightly said. But a particular situation, which I think a lot of people here will be able to relate with, like betting companies, right? They have the biggest cash, right? They have the biggest bank in this country. In fact, anywhere in the world. And then the betting company comes to me and says, the person they want is a humanitarian chess master, right? Somebody whose entire identity is around taking underage children and turning their lives around. and immediately it was a big cash, right? And when I saw the mail, I spoke to Tunde about it, and he said, "Oh, definitely no." Are you sure you did not bet on yourself? Trying to like explain it away, trying to like find a way to tell the story, but a bad deal is a bad deal. Like no matter how much you spin it, yeah, you can get and take the $1 million, but what will you lose? What market share will you lose? Right? So I always just look at it from the standpoint of this money, no matter how big it is, it finishes, right? You might finish in terms of investment. So the way I look at it is, if somebody offers my clients a big sum of money, I check real estate in Lagos. If that money cannot buy 10 real estates like properties in Lekki or VI, there's no point, man. And you look at it, like how much is a brand new G-Wagon today? Like 750 million, 800 million. And they're not even offering you up to that. I can't afford to buy it. So if something is worth your conscience, I can't buy a brand new G-Wagon with that money, right? It's always very tricky for me. So yeah, I think that a lot of talents need to scale. It's important, but at what cost? Right? And that question is for the talents themselves to answer.
At what cost? Food for thought.
Not for me to answer.
All right, so I'm back to you, Waka Doctor. Now, we all know about the entire jackpot syndrome, right? But then again, you have been traveling, you said you traveled to how many countries now? 78 countries. And at no point did you think that, why am I coming back? I'm going somewhere, because you legit turned your passion for travel into a profitable venture. So, you turned it into like a migration consultancy agency, right? So what were the steps in transforming this passion into sustainable business? Because not all of us want to Japan. We want to see how we can travel to 78 countries.
Well, I mean, it's okay. I know not everybody can Japan. That's the truth. But as many as can do it, do it. One of the core principles is to have a driving force. You need to have something that drives you. And for me, maybe it's because of my background, maybe it's because of my career. One thing someone cannot say I do not have is passion. So I put in my passion into everything that I do. It's why I became a medical doctor. It's why I went on to have a master's degree in public health. It's why I have postgraduate diploma in medical education. It's why I have a postgraduate diploma in management. It's why I'm doing another postgraduate diploma in neuroscience. So you have to you have to be passionate about it. Okay. They stopped it.
They don't want you to talk again.
They don't want me to talk again.
Don't forgive them.
So you really need to be passionate about everything your hands find to do. Another thing is curiosity. Every time I'm always curious, and it's why I have tried to add more and more degrees. Not because I like book, okay? It's because I want to know more. It's why I travel. Travel is the best form of education you can have. Okay, traveling is better than sitting in a classroom. I can tell you for free. So you need to have that mind of curiosity, always wanting to learn. And the more you learn, the more you'll be better for it. Share your passion freely. Like I said when I was asked the first question, a lot of the things I've done 4 years ago up till now has been free work. But I share it, passionately. If you go on Google, on Instagram and check Waka Waka Doctor, first 10 videos you would see, 9 of them will be about me dancing. I'm not a great dancer, but I enjoy it, okay? And you'll probably have a conversation and be like, what is wrong with this guy always dancing? What is it dancing? Yes, let them have that conversation. When I'm there, there's a goal, all right? You probably would see me dancing, you probably would enjoy the dance and read the information that I'm passing across. And then the problem that I aim to solve is solved. So if you can share your passion, you can be curious enough, and you can have that driving force within you, I think you'll be able to actualize what you want to happen.
Okay, it's working. Yes.
Did you want me to talk?
Okay, so this is the final question. This is the general question. So I want all of us, all of you on this panel to answer in 15 seconds or less if you can, because we're way behind time. And so, where do you see the creative industry in 5 years? Everything is emerging. There's the emergence of AI. People are scared that AI is going to take their jobs and all, right? So, what are the advice, or what is the advice you would give to creatives who are still emerging in an evolving industry? How can they stay grounded and how can they scale up?
I'm not going to take up to 15 seconds. I'll just stick to what she said and say, be yourself. Just be as authentic as possible. Just stay true to yourself. Don't change. Keep doing it, and the rewards will come.
Yeah, I will say, don't romanticize platforms, right? Platforms will come and go. It's TikTok now. Who knows what it will be tomorrow? Stay true to yourself, like you said, but share your story, share your journey, build in public, and it's tomorrow is Threads, or tomorrow is X, or next tomorrow it's the same consistent person that's just morphing into these different platforms. So just stay true.
Yeah, I'll say be determined, then consistency, and stay true. As I explained the other time, stay true to yourself, hold on to your niche, and keep improving. Do you understand? Keep improving. Keep improving. Don't be stagnant. That's it.
Thank you, Jacob.
Since you guys are spoken about the creativity, I'll speak about the business side of it. Making money is just make sure you have your business right. I'm not sure if it was the last panel or the panel before where they were talking about intellectual property and somebody mentioned a lawyer. I always advise artists and producers, to be honest, which could go for all creatives, is that even before you get a manager, you need a lawyer. Even as a label executive, when an artist is talking to me, the first thing I ask them about is their lawyer. Like do you have a lawyer? You need a lawyer. Because even your agreement with your manager as a lawyer is going to draft it. There's many different ways to work with lawyers, but this is to say that try to get the business right. I think what's going to keep us sustainable as a creative industry is making sure that we have a sustainable structure in terms of like the business and everything else that happens outside of the creativity. So try to have that right. It can seem like a huge thing. Literally just one step after the other. You find the lawyer handles all those things. You find the manager handles a bunch of other things. So just one step at a time. So just make sure, try to have your business right from the beginning and a structure, even if within yourself, because remember that you yourself as a creative, you're a product. So try to have the business structure within yourself right, so that no matter where the industry goes, like he was saying, today's TikTok, tomorrow it could be X, whatever, you have all of that correct. With AI, you're protected. AI is something new that I don't think you've seen before. So you're protected in your business and your structure. Whatever it is they come up with tomorrow and say this is how we're moving, you sort of kind of evolve into that.
All right, thank you so much. Please give this panel a round of applause.